Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we'll see the veteran Joe Flacco and his new team, the Denver Broncos, as they take on Jacoby Brissett and the Indianapolis Colts. With that, let's get on up to Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. For the call, we bring in our broadcasters, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Just as we were ready for air, it was the Colts emerging from the locker room to great fanfare here in Indy. They're ready to go as the Colts get set to match up with the Denver Broncos. Up in the booth with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden, and kickoff straight ahead, CD. What's one thing that you're going to have your eye on?
I think about what the great coaches of the past always said, the key to any ball game. Can you rush theirs and protect yours? Well, in this case, both of these teams get after the quarterbacks. I'm watching the pass rush.
Now the kicker, Brandon McManus, about ready to get us started. And in front of a raucous crowd, this one is underway. This one fielded at the 5. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. It'll be Jacoby Brissett under center for the Colts. He, of course, made 15 starts in Andrew Luck's absence 2 years ago. Not much required of him last year. He threw just 4 passes total. But that experience as a starter, very valuable in this learning process. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. This is Marlon Mack, third-year running back. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's 2nd down. And here are the Colts offensive starters.
Ryan Kelly's a great example of how valuable centers have become in the NFL. A former first-round pick, he was plugged in immediately to be a starter to handle big nose tackles as well as blitzing linebackers, and also able to move and get out into the run game and get to the 2nd and 3rd level and deliver blocks.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Throwing, Brissett. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. As we get a look at these defensive starters for the Denver Broncos, their Week 6 game against Tennessee, boy, were they good. Even without Bradley Chubb, who was lost for the year in Week 4, they shut out Tennessee.
And remember, this defense that was expected to be fierce from Game 1, they were quiet in their 4-game losing streak to start the season. Only had 5 sacks in their first 5 games. But now, 7 sacks in Week 6, and that figures Von Miller must have gone off, right? He only had half a sack. How about these names? Derek Wolfe, DeMarcus Walker, Alexander Johnson combined for 5.5 sacks in the game.
To throw, Brissett. Able to find Deion Kane, complete. And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 43. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 43. From the shotgun, it's Brissett. And he hits his tight end, Ebron. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating, there he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 21.
Nice methodical opening drive here. They're already into field goal range. They're in a good spot. You know that people like to take a shot in this part of the field. But at the same time, as methodical as they've been, they might want to run the ball a little bit here too.
And just on the outskirts of the red zone, they have options now. Either way, though, they've come out with a purpose. First down, Brissett. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Jack Doyle that time, and that'll bring up second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Here's the second-year back out of NC State, Nyheim Hines. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a first down on a gain of 10. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
On 1st and 10, Brissett. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Credit the sack to Von Miller. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Brissett sets to throw it. Hits his target, the tight end, Mo Alley-Cox. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. DeMarcus Walker coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback, because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
So with 4th down coming up, here's Adam Vinatieri now for the Colts field goal. This will be a 34-yard attempt. Vinatieri's kick is good. And the Colts hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. Vinatieri, the NFL's oldest active player, also the league's all-time leading scorer, past Morton Anderson last year.
Yeah, he turned 46 in December of 2018. You really can't see it in his leg. Maybe in the beard.
You can see it in the beard.
Maybe in the beard. That's about it. But as long as he's booting them the way he's booting them, keep going, big guy.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Broncos head out for their first drive, and at the controls in his first season in the Mile High City, a former Super Bowl champion in Joe Flacco. And in Baltimore, they drafted Lamar Jackson. Eventually, he would take over for Flacco Week 10 a season ago. So Flacco out. Well, the Broncos said, we still think he has some time left in his career. They bring him in for some stability at quarterback, something that they really haven't had in Denver since the departure of Peyton Manning after their victory in Super Bowl 50. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now the young man who was a Pro Bowler as an undrafted rookie, it's Phillip Lindsay. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Flacco leaves to Lindsay on the draw. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. The offensive starters now for the Broncos.
And how about Phillip Lindsay's rookie season? Began the year 3rd on the depth chart. Finished it in the Pro Bowl. Not bad for an unrestricted free agent out of Colorado with speed to burn.
And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down. Operating out of the gun, Flacco airing it out for Hamilton. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker, and they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Good starting field position for the Colts as they have it 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. Here's a handoff to Hines to begin the drive. On the stop that time, it was Josie Jewell.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down now, it's Hines. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. They follow up the 1st down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
On 3rd down, Brissett. That one into the hands of Kane. And he's got the 1st down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling. This will probably be the last play of the quarter. $3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. 2nd quarter now from Indianapolis with the homestanding Colts in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Single. That's single the slot. Here we go. Watch second. Watch second. Watch the curl.
No gain on the dump off. It's second down.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
Throwing on second down. Brissett. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Derek Wolfe popping in for the sack. And, partner, it's safe to say that the secondary really contributed to that sack.
Yeah, nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They covered everything. Nowhere to go with the football. But my question is, why didn't he throw it away?
The Colts on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19. Out of the gun, Brissett. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Von Miller able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
As Denver takes back over possession of the football, I want to discuss their Week 6 victory. They shut out Tennessee, so now they're 2-4, 2 straight wins after the 0-4 start. And on an afternoon where Champ Bailey and the family of late owner Pat Bowlen were presented with Hall of Fame rings, the Broncos defense, they played like Hall of Famers.
They certainly did. And how about these season-saving victories the last 2 weeks out, right? Started 0-4, have won 2 straight, and I think they've got a chance to run off a few more, right? They've got a huge game on Thursday night, but it's at home against Kansas City that struggled itself, losing the last 2 weeks out. Then they go to Indianapolis, and then they come home to play Cleveland. None of these games are out of reach for a team that's playing as well as they are on defense.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Passing play, Flacco. Under pressure, and Flacco's going to be dropped. Danico Autry busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball in this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up the 4th down. Well, they did go run, so you were right. Maybe a little more breathing room for 4th down.
Well, no one wants to be accused of playing it safe, right? But instead, they would just reverse it and say, we're playing it smart.
The Broncos send out their punter now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. And he'll take it just outside the 40. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Colts are set up well as they take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield. And sometimes what happens when these things are going on is that the field general will step up and say, hey, that's on me, guys. I didn't get rid of it fast enough. Anything to try and relax them a little bit and take some pressure off because they do know that they are trying.
Yeah, well, we've seen the 4 sacks so far in this contest.
Switch.
They'll run on 1st down with Marlon Mack. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Brissett. That's complete to his receiver, Kane. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
A gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 6.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Here's Brissett. Wide open receiver complete. And he's taken down inside the 30. 16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a 1st down. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime report.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do. Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Draw play. This is Hines. That 2nd down run, a big help as 7 yards leaves them with just a 3rd and 3 now.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down. Now Brissett. And this is going to be incomplete.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a 1st down, threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary, incomplete pass. When are these quarterbacks going to learn? You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He hit his first, this one from 38. And Vinatieri's kick is good. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And looking at this situation, Charles, you got more than a minute. You've got all 3 timeouts. Probably no need to play this safe.
So what you're saying is that we're doing a little bit of a mind meld here, aren't we? Because I'm thinking along the same lines as you. This amount of time, don't be compelled to play it too safe. This is a chance to get points on the board. Press it a little bit.
Yeah, especially since a touchdown here gets you the lead. They look to throw on 1st and 10 with Flacco. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
To throw again on 2nd down. Flacco, and that's complete to the tight end Hireman.
Let's go, baby.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the gun, Flacco. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Flacco will take to the air again. And he will find his man on the outside. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 16 yards, a 1st down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. Once more, it's Flacco. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Broncos with their first trip to the red zone thus far. 1st and 10 right at the 20. They go pass again with Flacco. And Sanders has got it complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they've targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it?
Not
because
at all.
Those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a 1st down.
Broncos with their first trip to the red zone thus far. This is 1st and goal from about the 8. They'll run here with Freeman. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Just a gain of a yard in what all likelihood will be the final play of the first half.
It's a gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and goal at the Colts 7-yard line.
So a couple of field goals, that's all we've been able to muster through 2 quarters of play. 6-0 is our count at the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one has been a hard-hitting affair to this point, and you got to expect we'll see more of the same in the second half. And to bring the action your way, let's get it right back out to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. And maybe time for this offense to really hit the reset button. They were shut out in the first half, but still, they're right in this game.
They certainly are. What I like about it is that you actually continue to play. You know, you just find a way to make a few plays yourself, and you noted it. Right there on the border in this game, they're not that far off. Just got to find a play or two, and they could be very happy at that point.
Flacco going to bring up the Broncos 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Flacco from the gun. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down. Well, we talked about Phillip Lindsay so much last year, but it bears repeating. Undrafted in 2018, the Broncos would sign him in May, and that was a good decision. He would have a 1,000-yard season, 9 touchdowns en route to a Pro Bowl appearance. So from undrafted to playing in the Pro Bowl in 10 months, that's pretty clean living for Phillip Lindsay. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. They'll run. It's Lindsay. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now it's Flacco. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Cortland Sutton was the man he was looking for. And now it's 2nd down.
Just work with me a second here, because in my lifetime, seeing how quarterback percentages have changed in throwing the football, I mean, back in the good old days, if you were around 50%, you were doing okay. But now, you need to be 65 to 70% to be considered an elite quarterback. And in this ball game, I feel like we're playing old school, right around 50%.
Yeah, he's under 50%. He needs to start hitting more targets. And he's going to get this pretty close to a first down at the Colts 34.
Hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Got a man open, it's Sutton. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield, or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
A 52-yard attempt.
And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Down here in the third quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not is not the misses. It's the second miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss 2 in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot.
Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Good field position to start the drive after the missed field goal. Here's first down from the 42. To throw is Brissett. That's going to be caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. T.Y. Hilton, 58 yards. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Watch the screen. Check.
From the gun, here's Brissett. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that exit, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
And as he approaches to kick it off, he might be thinking this could be a 14-0 lead with a couple of PATs as he sends this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. Always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, though.
It does test the mental processes of a team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up, because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to the stretch? And guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treat. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Now Flacco. Screen pass to Lindsey. Call it no gain on the dump off, and it's 3rd down.
So many screen passes are the result of excellent acting by everyone. But sometimes the guy who's getting the ball tips the play off. The running back, because he's eager to get the pass, and sometimes he doesn't act very well about whether he's going to block or leak out or whatever. And I think that they saw that, and that's why they're able to get to him on it.
3rd and long for Joe Flacco. And he finds Hamilton. That's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, a 22. Hamilton, the 4th-round pick, had a very productive career at Penn State where he was teammates with Saquon Barkley. And the tandem of he and Cortland Sutton brings some solid youth to that Bronco receivers room. And now the 24-year-old Hamilton hoping to build on what was a 30-catch campaign from a season ago as a rookie. Flacco now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. Anthony Walker, the other Colts linebacker with over 100 tackles a year ago, making the play there.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They'll go again with Lindsey. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Flacco looks to throw. And able to find Deshaun Hamilton complete. Denver has the 1st down. The play going for 15 yards.
First down, Broncos.
Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. Flacco on the give to Lindsey. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run and the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on 1st.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. 3rd down, Flacco needs a decent chunk of yardage. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Justin Houston able to put an end to that play, and in so doing puts an end to this 3rd quarter. In the books. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Flacco. And he's got Hireman. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Even though this offense doesn't have a single point to its name, they're not totally out of this game yet. A touchdown here, they could be in business.
And how about that last play? Now they've got momentum going, so you know I'm a big advocate. Get back on the line of scrimmage. Throw another play at them while you've got them rocked on their heels.
Flacco now, perfect since the 2nd half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Setting up to throw, Flacco. He completes this to Sutton. Now the ball comes loose, and the Colts pick it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the 4th quarter here, and now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0. And And now Indianapolis set to take the field.
Now listen, it's a team game. We know that. But where would these guys be right now, Charles, without their defense? They take over here following the turnover. Defense did it again. But on offense, they have to feel like, hey, we need to do something.
You're exactly right. And you just mentioned it. The defense did it again. They bailed them out on a number of occasions in this contest. It's time for them to repay the defense at the least. Keep the ball for a while. Give those guys a break so they can catch their breath.
You better bring.
Off the play fake, here's Brissett. He's going to let this one go deep. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there, almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down.
Despite the lead here in the fourth, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And he will bring it back to the 4-yard line.
That's it. That's it.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the fourth. So the Broncos coming out now.
And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all, because we're talking about the NFL, and teams can score fast in this league. Quick strikes, you're right back in it. You're exactly right. Keeping hope alive.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. So the fumble recovery, now Flacco to throw. And caught by Sanders. Touchdown Broncos. 4 yards on the touchdown grab as his guys are back within a single score. But what a quick turnaround there. They get the football. Next play, boom, touchdown.
I've been in a situation before where a turnover occurs, and if you're over on the bench with your defensive mate and you talk about what to do on your next series, and all of a sudden you hear sudden change, you've got to get out on the field and defend right away. Not everyone is mentally prepared to go.
Is that what is yelled on the sidelines a lot of times?
That, among other things.
Maybe some words we can't share here.
Yeah, we'll just keep this one PG.
FCC violation.
No doubt.
McManus's point after is good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over.
Now, Charles, of course, you got to remember, last possession they fumbled. It led to a touchdown. 1-score game here. Got to be careful.
And this is where coaching and training really comes into play, doesn't it? What does everyone say after an error? Next play, move on, next drive. That mantra has to come to the front. They've got to take care of business right here and act like the last series just didn't happen.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
6-man.
From the shotgun, it's Brissett.
Hits his target, the tight end, Mo Alley-Cox.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
.4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
On second down, here's a run with Mack. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And just like that, it's third down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
The Colts on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Brissett got it complete to Rodgers. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through picking up the first. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on third down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. This is Hines. The tackle made by Todd Davis. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Out of the gun, Brissett. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Flacco and the Broncos now down by 5. A little under 2.5 to go. Plenty of time here. They've got 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning as they've got it 1st and 10. Flacco going to bring up the Broncos 1st and 10 at the 20. Operating out of the gun, Flacco. Got a man that's complete to Hamilton. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
I know a lot of people won't like the draw called in that situation, but every now and then that pops big. In this case, it didn't happen.
Flacco, a veteran in these situations, hurrying his guys up. Here's Flacco off the play fake to Lindsey. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. 16 yards, a first down.
Let's go.
They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them inbounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route. Throw anything inside and I'll make the tackle. An out route? That's not the way you're supposed to play it.
Watch tight. Tight is right. Watch tight.
Flacco to throw. Sutton reeling it in on the left side. A gain of 6 there on first.
That completion helps out in a nice way. Now they can take a little bit more time, but guess what? They got to make sure on their throws that they see it open, not just anticipate it.
The Broncos in the hurry-up try to get to their positions and get set quickly. He'll look to throw. Open man, and again it's Sutton. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. 4 yards the pickup, first down. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Push him back.
Back to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Jeff Hireman, the intended receiver, and it's second down. Couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You're having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
On second down, a run with Lindsey. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Jamal Sheard on the stop.
I know they got a little yardage there, but I'm not sure their investment is right. They're still running the football, and I'm not sure there's enough time to continue to do that.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. This one complete to the running back, Lindsey. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll be 4th down.
I'm a little surprised right here. They've got 3 timeouts left. The clock's running down, and they aren't using them. Those timeouts do you no good at home. Use them now.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. And down by 5, they've got to go for it here on 4th down. They're going to try it. Here's Flacco. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Colts are going to take over with a football. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And still 2 timeouts defensively, but even if they choose to use those, 3 kneel downs should be enough to get out of here with a victory.
And that's exactly what's being stated into the head coach's headset. Oftentimes they have a guy upstairs who monitors this at the end of the game. A little clock management 101.
The Colts in victory formation now as they take the knee. And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Go!
Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. So this one winds up an Indianapolis victory, and it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the one touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This type of performance you get. They can't fashion together any offense, no consistency, and they just took control.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Colts are winners as we say so long from Indianapolis.